Welcome back to this video, guys. In this video, all we're going to do now, our hero can fire a weapon or fire a bullet. We're going to code the section where the bullet actually makes contact with the enemy, destroys the enemy, and makes a little bit of an explosion. We need the explosion animation. So what I've done is on the website where you found this video, right down here, there's a link that will give you the assets. So if I click on that one, I go on to explosion and I say download. I choose to download this to my desktop. It will come my way as a zip file. It's busy compiling at the moment, and then I will extract it and then insert it as a sprite. So let's say I leave it as that. I'll put it on my desktop and I go save. There's my download. I click on it to extract it, and if I now go to my Finder in my desktop, I can see that there's the explosion. So I'm going to use these assets or these frames to make my animation. So back into my game now. Now I want to land that explosion sprite. So I double click to create a sprite and I go SP. Here's my sprite. Click down there for it to arrive. And now I just want to import it. So I right click down here. I go import from a file. I choose the explosion folder, choose all those files in there, and I go open. And obviously the first one was a blank, so I just delete that one. So there's all my explosion animations. If we run through it, you can see that that's what it's going to look like. It's a bit slow, so I'm going to speed it up. So I go to animation, and instead of 5, I make it 15, and that's it. So now I have an explosion up here. The size of the explosion that you're going to have will determine on the size of this. So if the explosion is too small to your liking, you just stretch this out and make the explosion bigger. But we'll have a go at that soon. Right, now let's go and make sure that we name this. So this one should be SPR Explosion. So there is my sprite. And now I'm going to go into the code and start coding it. Right, so I go and say add an event, and in this case my bullet. So SPR my bullet, that one, and then there's something called on step. So when the bullet on step. So I want to do everything I'm going to do now based on that bullet on step. Right, and then I want to make it so that when my bullet, so I just go add in my bullet again, when my bullet overlaps so that would be on collision with another object, on top of it is overlapping another object. So I choose that one, and the object that I'm going to choose to destroy for now, I can do that with any object, would be, let's say, the green monster, and I go done. So now we're going to add the code as to what happens when I make contact, when my bullet makes contact with that green monster. Right, now, so I go to add an action. This is system, and now I want to create an object. The object is that explosion. So I go SPR explosion, and now I need to say where. So obviously I want the explosion to happen where my bullet is when it hits the target. So I'm just going to go with SPR my bullet dot, and this is the X one, and then the same thing at the bottom, SPR my bullet dot Y. So that's the target. So in other words, when the bullet hits that specific target, being the green monster, the bullet will then spawn or create the explosion. And we go done. So that's the first bit of it. Obviously, the next thing that needs to happen is two things. One, I need to say destroy an object. So the first thing I'm going to destroy is the bullet. And then I think there's one that I can find with destroy. And then obviously the second object that you want to destroy is whatever you were targeting. So let's say the green monster destroy. So those two things will be destroyed now. So if I run the code now, you'll see there's a glitch, but I'm going to talk about that now. So if I run the code now and I fire the bullet, then you'll notice that it's going to do it again. That goes away, but can you see there's some trace left over here, and that's pretty much just left from the animation. So all we need to do is we need to tidy that up. Right, and the way that we're going to do that, we're just going to say add, And now if that SPR explosion of us is finished, so if the animation is finished, then obviously we want to destroy that animation. So SPR explosion, destroy, and that's it. So if we run that now, then we should be able to see the bullet goes and it actually disappears, and that's it. Awesome. Hope you had fun. Let's see if you can get that right in your own animation.